Hey, everybody, and thanks for joining us for another Dallas Anime Podcast episode. This one's a special episode. We are reviewing Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. Thank you to NIS America for giving us the opportunity to review this game. And yeah, we have quite a bit to talk about with you guys today. Jamar, do you want to get into it a little bit?
I'll kick us off, being the old man of the group. Yeast 9 is part of the whole ongoing Yeast series from Falcom. I've been playing Yeast since Yeast 3 on the Sega Genesis, and I kind of continued on with the whole series. I took a break between 8 and 7, but I was glad to be able to kind of join back on the game and get back to seeing returning characters and see what adventures we get into.
The funny thing is, I'm a Trails fan, and you're the Ys fan of our group,
Yeah.
so it's interesting how we're not really overlapping much.
Yeah.
I mean, just because we're the same header company doesn't mean there's overlap.
Yeah, but Falcom followers are like their own breed.
Yeah.
So,
But do you want to go a quick overview of the game?
yeah, so Monstrum Nox starts with the same usual crew. We have
Adol is still Adol and his
the-
best
Adol.
friend is just
Doggy.
going. Dougie is just going on another adventure, and they stop by this prison city. It's like, hey, this is like a nice place. They said,
Yeah.
Adol, we are
Yeah,
arresting you
no.
for your actions in the previous games.
doesn't leave you to think too long, because like you're immediately thrown right into prison, and then you just kind of like to skim off the top. You know, we get out of prison through our adventure means, and then we get some magical shonen-esque powers. So and that's pretty much how we get started. We become a monstrum, and what that means really is you have a curse where you can't leave the city, but you also, on the flip side, you get some pretty cool powers as the Crimson King. Is that what
Yes, the Crimson King, aka crap, I can't think of what I wanted to say. Edgelord.
Zippy the Red.
Yep.
I think that's
Yes,
what Hawk called him.
Adol gets new demon powers that allows him to fly.
Yeah,
Sort of. He
But,
doesn't
I
actually
mean,
get that first.
on the gameplay end, I didn't really use the zipping that much. Like, you can grapple to select points as Crimson King, but as you get more people in your party, other monstrums, you get, in my opinion, better exploration mechanics implemented.
I used it to save because exploration uses that meter, and
Yeah.
the zipping saves.
Zipping doesn't take that much. If it takes very little. Like White Cat was my favorite because like as soon as you play as her, you could just go up like any surface. Like you can just run up any wall. And as soon as I got that, I was like, why the hell was I exploring without this character? And I keep saying that to myself every time I get a new character, because like 4 out of like the 6, or is there 7?
6.
There's 6.
Yeah,
like,
two slash, 2 pierce, and 2 strike.
4 out of the 6 will give you exploration availability. And well, the last guy,
he technically does, but it's very
situational.
situational.
But there's like 4 chests that you can access now, and that's about it with his power.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like White Cat gave us the ability to climb up walls. Hawk gave us some gliding,
And that's pretty much all you really needed. The other
yeah.
3 were kind of situational.
Yeah, and Doll gave us like some abilities to see hidden things, which you only used in dungeons. I expected more hidden chests via it, but I didn't really see any.
No.
So that kind of gets to my some of the cons of the exploration mechanics. Is I felt like the stamina bar wasn't large enough, and I feel like there should have been some points of interest or something along the lines in the game that should have gave us a way to extend our stamina bar.
Yeah, I never saw it extended. It was the same exploration.
Same, and I feel like that detracted from the experience some for me, because I really like exploration.
Yeah,
and,
that was pretty much the main draw of the game for me, being able to be like a anime Spider-Man.
And if you wanted to keep Third Eye on from Doll's special ability, and then you could like kind of pinpoint Azure petals and chests a little bit easier, that would drain your bar while you're also exploring, so it drops like way faster, and that just kind of is a pain because you have to sit there and just wait for it to go back up. So,
See,
but
for me, it didn't bother me because I got used to like the Persona SP fatigue, where you only have a limited amount of SP, so you have to kind of manage how you did your exploration.
You
So
you can
I guess
increase
if,
that in
like, from a
Persona though.
Western,
yeah,
since I'm really, I guess,
Like you could increase that in Dark Souls, your stamina. Like most things allow you to increase your stamina, but like you don't get that in East 9.
yeah, and like I'm used to a lot of Western games where it's just like what stamina bar. Like you play
Oh,
Assassin's
I mean, yeah,
Creed or you play
yeah,
like Mirror's
obviously,
Edge,
like
and it's like,
Batman,
so I've
Spider-Man,
been a
yeah.
little bit complacent in that.
yeah.
But
But I guess we probably deem
this
it
is new
off
for
of the
them,
main
kind
thing.
of, right? So
Yeah, I mean, they always try to do something new in each rendition of Yeast. And
Yeah,
for the
but
most part, it's always been like an action RPG.
yeah,
But
yeah.
and that's a
yeah,
good point. The combat was really cool in that you could switch characters who had like very different fighting styles. Like I was really into White Cat for a while because she was really fast and her like hit combos really just kind of staggered the shit out of enemies to where they couldn't do anything for like 90% of her combos.
Yeah, her slide skill is just like
Yeah,
super
you can
broken.
close distance, and you could get people in like an air combo with her. I really liked Raging Bull. Her like I started using her once I got her, and she just is a stagger god. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
she
yeah.
is.
she just fucking has a big sort of mace hammer thing. Uh, but yeah, it just staggers like crazy and it breaks enemies. And if you break an enemy, then like pretty much any damage type hits full damage on them. I believe is how the mechanic worked. But yeah, the my only problem with the combat is it got a little bit stale. It felt like if you're playing sort of a Dynasty Warriors game and you only had a very limited cast to go with for a while, but unlike a Dynasty Warriors game, there's actually story.
Yeah,
That's
I was thinking.
interesting. So
Yeah, I was doing that comparison. Like that was the same problem that plagued Scarlet Nexus. You get introduced to like the combat, and it's fun at first, but then you realize it doesn't change, and that you're just stuck with it forever, and then it just gets gets boring fast.
It's at least not too long of a game. It's not like 100 hours or anything.
And it doesn't make you
it.
had to play it twice to get the full story.
But it is longer in some cases to where like
if you're trying 100%,
yeah,
it's
like
long.
I'm a 100% person, and that I'm OCD about leaving side quests unexplored, and especially in a Falcom game because I know they're integral. So
They technically are in this game,
but they kind of are. There's some characters like the Doctor, for example, where I'm like, well, I didn't really need this character. Or
well,
like,
yeah. I mean, in terms of like doing getting all those characters for your home base, you also need to do like a certain number of side quests to progress to the next story.
That's one thing. If you skim out on a lot of side quests, you might miss characters that sort of enhance the gameplay experience. And that when you go to a Grimwald Nox, which is sort of a raid by monsters, those side characters help you there to defeat them in that instance, and then you get more rewards because you get more points from them helping you. So doing the side quests is very rewarding at the same time.
And also like
backstory a little bit.
And I also give you, and like the doctor sells you medicines.
Yeah,
the kids sell you like gear.
They come in handy. Like if I didn't have the kids, I would have been like, "What the fuck? I need to craft shit." So, oh, and like the maid who like fetches you stuff from other stores. I'm like, oh, thank God, because there's so many stores in that town.
And I could not navigate that thing without a marker for the life of me because the compass I just cannot read.
Yeah. But yeah,
so
like
I guess what did you think of like the difficulty game, or what difficulty did you play it on?
I did normal. I know that makes it a button masher, but at the same time I was like I was just like this is mostly just comfort food to me, so it's like I didn't really want to go too hard.
I was the same boat. I just kind of wanted to get most of the story out of it. It was my first Ease game too, so I did normal, but it was very easily done. Like all the
I still died a few times.
There was no difficulty getting S's for me.
Yeah, I still died a few times, which is why I didn't turn up the difficulty. If I was just steamrolling everything, then yeah, I might have turned it up, but I still died.
Is there anything below normal? Was there an easy?
I think I don't know. I don't remember.
Easy.
Yes, yes,
No, I
exactly.
think they might have been. I don't remember. I'm used to the games, so I'm like, well, I'll start at hard, and
Yeah.
if I like die 3 times in a row, I'll go down. But no, I didn't have a
Yeah.
problem. I think on hard combat was, I would say, fair. Like if you
Fair.
messed up when you messed up, it
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
like
I was like I was mostly unchallenged. Well, not it wasn't. It was mostly unchallenging. I only had problems when the enemies were tanky, which is like most of the boss fights.
Yeah, so for me, I think we talked about this. I wasn't too good at the flash guards and the dodges. It took me a while on a boss to really get the hang of it, and it was probably partially because I didn't need to on normal. But it really expedites the fight a lot.
yeah.
If you just
You,
nail the,
you have to use that
you'll get your
mechanic.
SP back really quick, and then it'll slow down time. So I did it here and there. It's just the timing was just weird for me. I don't know why I couldn't get it in some
Yeah,
cases.
parry seems to be kind of getting popular in the Japanese games. Like Sekiro, you have to parry it, and the new Tales game.
Oh, Sekiro is
got that-
impossible if you don't parry.
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
straight. You cannot continue.
I know, and the new Tales game has its own perfect dodge parry as well that you kind of have to use for the hard fights.
But I mean, they've been kind of doing not East, but like Japanese developers with perfect parry and dodge for like bullet time with Bayonetta. I mean, was it which
I mean,
time?
that's
Which time?
expected. That's
Yeah,
expected.
which
with,
time?
from that
Devil May
team.
Cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt at home using that mechanic.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel every game's got its sweet spot for those, and I just couldn't get in the rhythm for this one. But it was still a cool mechanic on the way they did it with the slowdown time and the SP regeneration increase. I think there was an increase. It felt like there was. But yeah, how did you guys feel about the graphics? I felt like
I mean,
the textures
it's a Neon
could
Falcon game.
Could be a bit better for me. But,
I mean, it felt like a East game for me.
yeah.
So for better or for worse,
it just feels like a Neon Falcon game in general. They always look like that.
Coming off of Cold Steel, which is probably the exact same engine, it looks pretty the same. I think. So the difference between Cold Steel I've noticed, and I don't know if it's the way they do the architecture differently in this Ease game, but Cold Steel felt Cold Steel felt a little bit like the environment popped out a little bit more, and I think it's because they do a little bit more cell shading maybe on the environment, but it's more of a Victorian setting in Cold Steel in some cases, like kind of a steampunky in some areas of Cold Steel, where there's a little bit of browns, richer greens, so they could do a little bit more shading there, so it pops a little bit more. I'm not sure why, but
again, I think because of the setting with the prison town, it was more of
it was a
darker,
lot of white and gray.
Yeah, and again, like I'm not sure how many prisons you guys been to. Prisons are not really that colorful.
Yeah, I mean, I know prisons aren't supposed to be colorful.
I mean, the rich ward was.
yes,
fair enough.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the music?
I remember it being kind of cool, but there's nothing that I fully remember from it.
I like the battle theme, but much outside the battle theme, I didn't really have too many takeaways this time.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it. It didn't offend. It wasn't any like bangers. Oh yeah, I need to have this on my Spotify, but
yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah,
yeah. Like,
so, what were your overall impressions?
I think I guess I'll go first. Being an East player, it felt good getting back into the series.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some Cold Steel haters on this review, but no, it like Justin said, it's like comfort food. It's like going back to old friends, new combat mechanics. Yeah. I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what they'll do on like next generation console, because I feel like the engine's a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit dated, or it might have been at its max, but it felt like a East game. It played well for me, so
Right.
Yeah,
I enjoy my experience.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I kind of feel about Tales of Arise. I really do think it's a big improvement over the last few Tales games, but I don't know if I'd like it as much as I did if I haven't been playing Tales since
That's
2005 or
probably
so.
yeah, that's probably what it is for me a bit in that, I'm not a long time Ys player, and I think if I had that build up to it and I'd follow Adel for longer, it would have a bit more impact for me.
Yeah, but at the same, yeah, because there were quite a few references to past Ys
Yeah,
games.
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
didn't
and
need them. It's just
no.
Nah, but
give
well,
you
it
more
makes the
impact.
ending make less sense. But other than that, yeah.
They get pretty much all the games are kind of self-contained.
Yeah, and
So
there's a bit of
Pri-
world building that I feel
yeah,
like
like I
I missed
said,
out on. Yeah.
but again, they like released almost all of the Yeast games recently and
Right.
in the past couple of years.
Pretty
I
much.
would
Yeah.
say I kind of wish they would have did something similar to Sega Yakuza, where there's always some type of recap to
Yeah,
get
there's a
you up to
flashback.
Kazuma's like past, even though like we know it's the same place, different year, different decade. There's always some type. All right, this is what Kiryu's about.
Yeah, yeah. And that would have been nice, but it feels like I don't know if it's just how Falcom does things, but there's just usually so much world building and politics and in all their games that with Ys, since I didn't have that background like I do in Trails, I that's what gets me invested is I think the lore of Falcom games, and in this case when they started talking about the politics of the do you pronounce it Roman?
Or the alchemy, which was in previous games.
Yeah, the alchemy. And then what was the empire that got taken over? Something with a G. I forget. And like this used to be part of their.
Forget.
It's like Galleon or something. I don't remember. But yeah. So I think if the other games build upon that, and then we learned a bit more about like the political atmosphere, and maybe that would drive me a bit more. But I mean, overall, like just at face value, the story was pretty decent. The characters I think got plenty of time to get fleshed out. They had like each episode to themselves, each chapter.
There are enough twists and turns to be interested to keep Adel's adventure interesting. Although
I'm not sure. What's that?
I kind of figured out the plot twist between why there were two Adels in the game. Like after a while.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm invested enough to want to hop on the very next Ys sequel, but I'm interested enough to go back and play the Ys games that have been sitting in my library for a while because of the Steam sales. So I'll probably do that, and definitely Ys 10 will be on my radar to, I'll take a look at it and see if, the gameplay changes they do implement is speaks to me a bit more.
Yeah, because this is the second 3D Ys game after Ys 8.
Yeah, the last one was Lacrimosa of Dana, right?
Yeah,
Dana?
right.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, that's also on Steam.
Well, I think that should wrap us up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys for joining me for this review. Thank you, NIS America, for letting us review Ys. It was fun. I hope to do some more reviews like this sometime soon.
I think I'm working on the next one. So
the R-Type thing.
I'm doing an R-Type. So again, another one, my old man games. So
what it is.
Yeah. It'll be.
I think I should probably do a segment called Old Man Games.
Yeah, we should get you your own spin-off podcast.
Yeah. It'll be a little while before I'm free for another review-based copy game. There's a lot of games I play right now. Plus, horror month.
All right, thanks guys. Hope you tune in next time.
Take care.
Bye guys.